criticizing each other is working together. Because if no one went unquestioned, then there would be people would just be getting led down all these messed up paths. And like questioning and criticism is an aspect of working together, because we all inherently, although there is no division, we are all one, we all have our perspectives on things. And while you may be able to see the path that someone went down and accept that they act in the way that they do, it doesn't mean you have to agree with it. And being able to accept but not agree and be able to discern without judgment allows us to move and continue growing and building on what we have learned, as opposed to getting stagnant in believing that we know everything and just getting stuck in the way things are. And that's what happens when people go unquestioned and people just have this idea of love and light, like we never ever have to criticize anyone because everyone has their own, idea of what the truth, and they're just following their truth. And it's like, well, what if someone's truth is rooted in desiring to become the most powerful spiritual guru on earth, and they don't really care about how messed up they leave people in the process? Like, that person should be questioned and criticized, in my opinion. And there's so much more about Teal Swan too, but yeah, I'm excited to get into that.
It's interesting, right? Because normally, and the people who would say this, they shouldn't be criticized, we should hold space for this person, would be the first to criticize, though those who are low vibration would be the first to look down upon those who aren't acting in the way that they perceive to be compassionate, right? And so there's this willing blind spot right there. And it's the people who are on that end that they would deem low vibration, who do need the most compassion, who do need the most empathy, who do need to be looked at and not assumed where they're coming from. It's the people who put themselves at the top that need to be questioned, right? It's the wolves that have the best sheep costume, right? That need to be looked at the most closely. And that's the point, is that it is not compassionate to leave the wolves in the sheep pen. Right? It is more compassionate to address the wolves, regardless if the sheep like you or not, regardless if they're like, oh, that's not making me feel safe. Well, I imagine it's not. There's a wolf here, right? Let's deal with the reality instead of how you feel about it, right? And that's very much the case. And